I was gonna say the only thing that I've seen a lot of hype around is the broad positive reaction to The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. I have to say, based on your reactions, guys, Nathan and Mike, who got kind of early access to it, and I know you were to some degree shackled, I think, in terms of giving your opinions on it. I'm very positive on it. It's an almost perfect like zombie dread game. It's and you guys know how much I like zombie stuff, but
Yeah.
I can't believe it's as good as it is. Like as far as I've played into it.
Yeah.
Are there, because I sensed that there was something holding you guys back from singing his praises, or was it?
Well, okay, so just to be clear, so everyone's aware, we got paid to play this game. So it was a paid promotion, and it was great actually because the deal was great and the communication was really clear and concise, which is rare sometimes. Yeah. And it's rare that you get offered an opportunity to play a game early, get paid to do it, and it's actually pretty good.
It's actually pretty good, yeah.
That is very rare. So I think, in terms of the Saints and Sinners, it couldn't have gone any better. I don't think, in my experience, I'm sure the same with Nathan as well, that it was a pleasure to deal with them because the game was really fun to play. But yeah, you're right. We were shackled in terms of what we could say about it then because it was a paid promotion. So it wasn't a review. So we couldn't really give our opinions
feedback.
On the game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really curious about what your feedback is now that it's out the gates, because I know there's other people really excited about it. I'm really excited about the game. I can't wait to play more. What were your thoughts, and particularly what did you not like about it? I'm really curious.
So the crouching, of course, is the big one.
I think that's the only thing for me as well that I really like. I still don't get why that is in there, because I think
it's an unusual
easily,
design choice.
Yeah, but
and the other
like
thing is also what we discussed back then was the stamina. I still think, even after playing it, I still think that can be removed because I have the feeling that I'm playing with some kind of like character that has a severe asthma, which I don't have. Because every time I run like 20 meters, he's completely out of breath. Or I'm a really, really fat dude. That could be the case as well. But I think that could be like ways around that. For example, that you get more damage done to yourself, or that you do less damage, or something like that. Yeah. But only that, not the run.
Like the thing is, they could if they wanted to like add a mode where you can turn it off. But the problem is then the whole progression system of how you craft is becoming unusable because you can, if you want to, buy a pair of new shoes or upgrade them so you get more stamina. So you can actually, that bar that you get at the start can be upgraded so you have more endurance.
It's not that I would remove specifically. I would still keep that, but I wouldn't have it like affect, like for example, the thing that comes in the screen. Like that blackness.
Yeah, but the things in the screen is always super dumb.
Like, do you have that on? I don't have that at all.
No, even if you turn it off,
you still have that.
Attacked. Yeah.
When your stamina runs low or near low, then it will become blacker and blacker and blacker. It's not the comfort feature. It's actually a design feature.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I mean, I've said that before. Like, I like it with VR games, and I think we're going to talk about Half-Life Alyx as well. I like it when the characters are mute because it allows for me to be more immersed with the character. This is not the case in The Walking Dead because the character has a voice. He grunts. He makes noises. For me, I prefer to have an option to turn all of that off.
You mean the protagonist, the player, the player character? Yeah,
exactly. Since Half-Life is known for having a mute.
Well, the one thing I wanted to say on this about the issue that I think we all have. So they have an ini file fix for the crouching now.
I heard that,
which is cool.
But I don't know what it is.
And it looks easy to implement. I read an article about it, and they've said like, we're listening. We're going to fix it. My concern was if they had developed this game as a kind of a 2-mode only, you might not have the ability, for instance, to get on hands and knees, look into a barrel, and see that it was fully animated. Like they might have taken shortcuts in the scene, and so far from the response, it doesn't sound like that's the case. They're going to have to go remodeling.
I think the reason is because the game has also been able to play seated.
Exactly
that is why they've implemented that. But that's why I find it a strange.
But there's PSVR support, right? There's going to be a PSVR version of this. So
it's just let's say in terms of freedom of movement, it's very arcadey, where it's also not room scale in a way.
Yeah, see, I didn't really have that feeling. I know there are limitations to my walking area, but I did feel as if I was part of like an open world. for the majority of that I was playing. Even though there are certainly, I think the limitations that are in place for as far as because I've only played it for about 1.5 hours, I do feel like the limitations that are in place are very natural and are not really things that bother me as much as it feels like a closed world. Like Asgard's Wrath has that a bit more with like the dungeons, but for this still feels very open.
Okay.
I like
Fair
it. I think it was.
Yeah,
I think it's the only. There's very little I can pick on it. I think the voice acting is very well done. The upgrade crafting system is great. The interaction that you have with characters is nuts. And the fact, I think some of the stuff like certain corpses are fixed objects and clearly aren't going to get up and hurt you. And the interaction that you have with those is a little different. I mean, there are places where you can lop a head off or whatever, but I'm just looking forward to where it's going. All I can say is that the introduction up to the point with the boat and everything. Oh man, I haven't like yelped out of fear in so long. I forgot what that shot of adrenaline was like. Like now there's this like sense of dread and like feeling trapped. Like when you go back to an alley which you previously cleared on the way back home and you're like low and you don't have any weapons or whatever, and then it's 3 walkers are there or whatever. Like that is terrifying. And I don't know. It's very good.
And also it's so dark. I love it. I mean, not only visually, but also how gritty and how awful like the storyline or like the thing is. Like, I mean, as soon as you get into the game, like the first kind of shots that you see is already like, oh.
But they did a creator
thing. It's not gonna be
thing.
a lighthearted game.
They did a creator thing. I don't know if this is based on feedback they got. They gamma balance the mirror window because I was like I'll outsmart them, right? Because most devs don't. Think about this, that people are going to be streaming it. So you have to kind of capture. So I captured with Oculus Mirror for the first like hour. And then I noticed my wife was watching it was like quite a bit lighter shade. And so I switched back to the window. It's wider field of view and it's like a little bit grayscale so that you can view in dark scenes. They did that perfectly. Really exemplary job.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, really cool. So,
I was talking more about the storyline that I find it really a dark and gritty kind of.
It's a great start of this year, and it's strange to be talking about a good game for once. That is actually like legit from gameplay to story to almost everything.